Hey there, E.H. Howard here, and I'm not sure where this video is going to go or what's going to happen with it. So let's just we'll enjoy the ride together, right? This playlist, this channel, part of what I wanted to do for a long time is really work with people like myself, the self-employed small business owner, self-employed home business owner, freelancers, contractors, consultants, all of that, all right? And the problem isn't the right word, and challenge doesn't feel strong enough, all right? But you kind of know what I'm saying is where I struggle with these days is that there's a lot on us, right? Now, if you're a self-employed small business owner, home business owner right now, there is a very, very good chance that you are a lot like me. You are my core consumer, you're my tribe, all right? You are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 60 age-wise, and you may have found yourself being self-employed through no choice of your own. All right, let me just say that, because part of this is where I'm getting to is that's my generation, Gen Xers, all right? Anybody from 40 to 60, a little less than 60. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling like I'm constantly in a typhoon on an ocean. And maybe you feel that way too, all right? But hear me out. Listen to me on this one, right? Just hear me out. There are a lot of challenges that we have in being these businesses, all right? There are a lot of challenges that we have in getting to where we are today. One of the first ones, one of the struggles that I have, and one of the things that, and I'm not mad at anybody, I'm not pissed at anybody. I made the choices, I signed the papers. If I'm mad at anything, it was that I believed the promises that I was told, all right? Let me just step back here for a second. When I went to high school in the late 70s, early 80s, you could not get a job. You were told that you could not get a job unless you had a college degree. That was it. Like, that was the high school diplomas meant nothing anymore. A college diploma had the weight and equivalency of what a high school diploma did back in the 60s, all right? Back in the 60s, that's all you needed to get a job. You could work your way up in the company, etc. Those times have changed. And if you're like me and you went to college in those years, then you were told the same thing, like, hey, you've got to get this college degree. College is expensive. Oh, here, wait, sign these little papers and we will give you loans, all right? And you're guaranteed, hey, look, you know, this is college degree, has weight to it. You're going to get a job. You're going to be able to do okay. You know, just like you were back in the 60s, this is what you need to succeed kind of thing. And, you know, I didn't live on campuses. I just basically paid for classes and supplies and materials and got into quite a bit of debt because college is expensive. I can't imagine if I had lived on campus for 4 years and had a food plant, how much more in debt I would be. I mean, I'm up to my eyeballs in debt. I think if you followed me, you've heard me talk about how I have enough debt that I feel like I could, like a small island country probably has less debt than I do. But that was what we were told. We were told, okay, well, if you graduate, you'll get, you know, and you do well, you're going to get this job. You know, the highway is open, the yellow brick road is there for you, stroll on down. And about a year after I graduated and I tried to start moving up in and I tried to start getting work that was less entry level, I was always told, oh, well, you don't have a master's degree. You know, upper level management needs master's degree. If you want to do this, you need a master's degree. If this and this and this, you need a master's degree. And I know a lot of millennials and Gen Xers right now that are struggling with the same thing, where they are being told, your major is okay, having a bachelor's in that major is fine. However, what you really, really want, what you really need is a master's degree. And so they're going into even more debt, all right? And that's where this indebtedness, I feel like, you know, we're kept in perpetual indebtedness because they keep raising, oh, now you need this, now you need that, you know, we want this, we want that. That's one problem. So that starts me feeling lost, all right? I can't get the jobs that I wanted, I can't get the jobs that I aspired to, I can't get the jobs that I've dreamt about since I was a child, because there are these tangible hurdles in my way that cost a lot of money to jump over, all right? So ka-ching, ka-ching, there's number one, all right? That's the financial there. All right, so I go back, I get a master's degree, I go, you know, I graduate, I move out to California, I get a job in the internet boom crashes, and I'm back at square one. I'm unemployed. I was making an exorbitant amount of money as an internet designer, like unbelievably obscene amounts of money that only sent me into depression when I had to go back and start working for like 50 grand a year. Rug pulled right under me. All right, I start to get back up on my feet. I start feeling better about myself, that the opportunities are coming, things are advancing. September 11th hits, all right? Fucked again, all right? Business is closed down. You know, if you're my age, you remember September 11th. And it wasn't just a one-day thing. It lasted for quite a few years. You get back up on your feet after that, you start putting your pants back on, you're like, all right, I'm feeling good. What the else can happen? I mean, fuck, what else can happen? And then boom, the market crash, all right? You know, people are losing their houses, apartment rents go up, etc., etc. And it continues, and it continues, and it continues, all right? I just want 5 years of great growth where I can feel like I'm making headway, where I can feel like I'm doing the work that I want to do, that I'm working with the consumers that I want to work with. I just want that on a continual basis. I want to be able to grow my business rather than every time I get to open the front door and step my foot out, I'm pushed back in by a tidal wave that I didn't even see coming. All right. And if you are like me, you were probably feeling, my age, you're probably feeling the same way. Now, I am lucky enough that I do not have aging family living with me. We don't have kids, so we don't have all that other pressure on us. But at the same time, I am feeling completely lost. Completely lost. I don't know what direction to go. I don't know which direction is up. Every day is just, okay, I'm gonna get up today, put on my big boy pants, go into my office, and try and see if I can fucking make sense out of any of this stuff. And that it can grow my business in a way that I want, that makes me feel good, all right? I want to be able to have a sustainable paycheck on a regular basis without having to do 30 things to get there, all right? When we grew up, I mean, my father had a part-time job, but that's because, you know, he had 4 kids. You know, the Irish Catholics were expensive. And I wouldn't mind, I love having a part-time job. I've always had a part-time job, but it was always one like, I'm working at this store because I want a discount here, and I feel like I shouldn't just be asking for discounts. I'm going to give you some time and my energy, make a little buck, but I'm also going to get a discount, you know? And in addition, what I'm saying is the part-time job used to be a fun thing to do. Like, okay, you know, I just want to pick up some extra bucks here and there. It's not a big deal. Now it's like 5 part-time jobs equal 1 full-time job, and you can't quit any of them. You can't stop doing any of it all, because once the hamster wheel stops, it all comes crashing down. And that's what I'm saying when I feel lost. And I'm hoping that there are a lot of other Gen Xers like me out there that I just feel like, and again, I don't know where this is going. I don't know what the takeaway is from this. I don't know what I want to leave you with other than maybe together we can start feeling like things aren't so bad as a group. Maybe together we can kind of start thinking like, you know, I can deal with this. I can, you know, I have some support. I understand by talking to other people who are going through the same thing that I'm going through, how they're surviving, and I can feel good about it. And I know, I'm sure she's watching this video. I have a really good close friend of mine who we do that. We talk all the time. Not all the time. We should talk more than and that's my fault. But whenever I get off the phone with her, I feel better because I feel like I'm not the only one. It's not just me that's going through this. She's going through it as well. And she's a fellow designer and a fellow brander and all, and we're experiencing from different points of view, but it's the same scene. We're just seeing it, and I'm like, okay, great. She feels the same way I do. She's seeing what I'm seeing, you know, and maybe that's the takeaway from this. Maybe that's what I want to leave everybody with on this is, and I feel like it's the start of a much bigger and broader conversation. Can we find strength in numbers? Can we find comfort in numbers? Can we feel less alone as a group? And, you know, I say this all the time is, you know, they always talk about small businesses. They always talk about small businesses. And I'm small business focused. I love small business. I want to help small business. And it's always these small businesses that employ hundreds of people. They're sort of regional, small manufacturers or developers or whatever. And those are a small percentage of the actual workforce. I think it's like 70% of the workforce of businesses in this country are self-employed, you know, home businesses, small business, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, freelancers, gigsters. So there's a lot of us, and I feel like nobody pays attention to us, nobody listens to us, nobody gives us the support, you know. And I feel like they think because we're doing it on our own and we're stuck doing it in our garage or at our dining room table or our bedroom or something, that somehow we're less valuable, you know, like less important. And I'm kind of rambling here, but and I think maybe that's where I want to kind of leave it is, what do we, can we start to form a group where we start to help and support each other, where we start to become a voice for each other, a shoulder to lean on, somebody to pick us up when we fall. I'm hoping we can. I'd like to start doing that. So if you're watching this video and you feel like I'm talking to you, please, you know, reach out to me. My social media links are everywhere. Leave a comment. I answer my comments. I look at the comments. I'm still a young and new enough YouTube channel that I can do that. I'm not, you know, I don't look at the bad ones. But what can we do as a group that kind of will move us forward, that will make us feel better, that will kind of really help us beyond just the tangible, you know. And I'm always talking about, you know, how to sell better, how to market better, how to do all of this. And I think it's time that we started also talking about, how do I make myself better? How do I take care of myself? How do I put myself just as important in my taking care of myself as just an important part of my business as selling and marketing and doing the work? And I think that's kind of where I want to go with the whole thing. So, and I'm rambling, and you know, that's never a good thing when I start to ramble. So, okay, so this has been a few minutes with E.H. Howard, and like I said, I'd love to hear from you. I want to know what's going on. Hopefully you feel the same way I do. And again, hopefully we can build a community. All right, I'll see you soon.